What's up guys, ZiSotto here, and today we're doing a little bit different format for the patch notes. I explain why later. We're jumping right in. But first, we start with this trailer of Divine Uprising. Actually, I have a feeling this is a trailer we've seen before. Somewhat, it's just a new skins, so I'll use that moment. So, today I might not be there when the written patch notes are released, and as such, I need to announce a little bit earlier, commentate a little bit earlier. So that's what we're doing right now, so we're doing the live patch notes version. For once.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the update show. It's 5.10, and I'm going to be honest with you. Look, I love a lot of the work we do here. The patches are awesome. This might be my favorite update in a while. We've got a lot of great stuff for you. Of course, God fixes and balance changes, item as well. But this adventure that I'm going to be telling you about, it's amazing. It's the namesake of this update. It's Medusa's Deathmatch, and trust me, it's really dope. You just got a little bit of a preview, some of the skins there that we're going to be releasing with this update. And let's go back to those, get a little bit of a closer preview. We're going to go in depth later on, of course, but we like to give you a little bit of a teaser before we get into it. So let's start off with Galactic Void Chernobog. Now, this is part of the Slavic event of the Divine Uprising. This is your reward for getting that Slavic event complete.
We kind of knew what he was going to look like.
Good. This is when it comes to
out
value,
pretty
man, this is
nicely
as good as
in
it
game,
gets because you're getting a ton of awesome skins.
I have a feeling that the audio here is a little bit louder than I am.
This one for
so I'm going to turn this
completing
down a bit.
really good stuff.
I hope
there.
this is okay.
Next up is Star Trooper Achilles. Achilles getting a little advanced, getting some extra technology. Maybe this will help his late game. He's looking good there with the white and blue sort of advanced technology, kind of similar to the
not my style.
That I really like, that I've been playing a lot of.
Got a few skins like that, but
Hi is next up on the list. A little bit of mage skin love. You know, I'm excited about that. This is one of the. I love this sort of the feet and hands on this skin. The old adventure corrupted arena Kukulkan skin has that. I use that one a lot because I like to have actual hands and feet.
I think it looks nice. So also nothing completely crazy to me.
Violet Lord Thor, excuse me, is up next. This one is kind of the brother, cousin.
I love the Aphrodite one.
Husband, something to that Aphrodite.
It has the same World of Warcraft feel for sure.
That one's called.
I still like the Aphrodite one a little bit better.
Feel as bad though because you don't have to play as Aphrodite, and that makes everyone mad right now. Queen Cobra Medusa is next up on the list. This one will be involved with Medusa's Deathmatch. You don't have to connect the dots there. I'll do it for you. You'll be seeing a lot of this skin, I imagine.
All right, the helmet or the mask looks really nice. The skin itself is very
last up is going to be Crystal
default.
Colossus Ymir. Look at this.
Oh wow! Okay.
That, man, this is a big boy.
Not see this was a Ymir skin.
An absolute unit, if you will. All of us in awe.
That is cool.
Of this lad.
It's kind of like Sobek, like a big change to the character at the mall.
5.10. Of course, we will go more in depth, show off voice lines, animations, all that kind of good stuff later on in the show, but we're going to get to the good stuff first. And speaking of good stuff, let's head over to the desk. Gabby and Isaiah are there to talk about some exciting updates in the esports community.
Hey everyone, Latagris here with Isaiah, and I'm liking some of the teasers that we've seen so far.
Definitely some awesome stuff coming up in 5.10.
Oh, super exciting. So all of those teasers that we just saw, which one are you looking forward to elaborating?
Definitely Ymir.
Yeah.
I mean, you just look at him, he's so cool. The purple is awesome. Purple's one of my favorite colors.
I mean,
that's right.
I might have to adjust the audio again.
I had to get with the vibe of what's going on today. But before we talk some general community-specific stuff, I wanted to let you all know about what's going on in the esports scene. And one thing is we have some updates with the way that account linking is going to be working with Mixer. You'll be able to link your actual Microsoft account to your high-res account to enable drops within our esports broadcast. So no more copy and paste.
Okay, we knew that already. That's nice, but
it's just added directly to your account. And if you don't have a Microsoft account already, all you have to do is make one through your Mixer account. That should be rolling out within the next few weeks.
Nothing really.
We'll be sure to shout it from the rooftops when it is
crazy at this point, but cool that they're kind of doing it.
On SMITE Pro, on SMITE Game, you can find all the information that you need, as well as the interactivity that's happening during the SPL, where we list the different actual players with all of their stats during the broadcast.
That one is really nice. I hope they show that again because it looked pretty cool.
I definitely checked it out yesterday, and it's super good. You're easily, page through all the players in the match. Check out what's going on in real time. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to FDUP before about that, and then the fact that Mixer, you can really customize your page and everything, your viewing experience. So I would recommend, before tuning into the next SPL, taking some time to play around with that.
Definitely.
But that's pretty much everything on the esports side. What do you got for us with community?
So it's Friday, and it's the start of the weekend, so that means it's time to party. So this weekend, you're playing with your friends. If you play in a party of 2 or more, you can get bonus rewards. If you're in a party of 2 players, you get 2 times favor.
I kind of wish they didn't do that, as usual. But
you'll get 3 times favor
rewards, I guess.
XP. So make sure to call your friends, cancel those weekend plans, and get some bonus rewards.
So there's no such thing as too crowded of a party in that case?
Definitely not. Yeah. 3 is definitely not a crowd. I want some 5-man queues. I'm going to call all my buddies.
I like it. I like it. Now, I actually spent a week without internet and without a cell reception or anything, so I missed the spring fling. I had to catch up later.
You definitely missed out on a treat. We had an amazing time during the spring fling. We raised over $100,000 for Make-A-Wish, which is amazing. Hats off to the community. You guys are amazing.
Good stuff.
We also hit some pretty cool bonus rewards because we hit our donation goals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I believe we're going to have a Jeff Henley and Barracuda announcer pack come in. I heard Hi-Res Avi is going to get some sort of...
I like that they did the announcer pack thing. I really hope they turn out well, though.
Reveal to you right now, it will
Never know
be
with those.
peppery tattoo. So that's
right. The hug bug.
Yeah. So I really love the commitment of a lot of the people here at Hi-Res. We hit those goals and really actually putting that forth, and those announcer packs should be good. But there's also something dealing with...
Yeah, we've got one more donation goal. So if you guys didn't know, through the duration of the spring fling, there were 2 teams that you could put your donation towards. There's Team Loki main, and if that team won, we would do a special match of the day with all Lokis in a Gemstorm event. And there was also Team Make Him Vanish, and if that team won, we're going to disable Loki for a day. And I'm happy to announce that Team Make Him Vanish won, so on July 4th, there will be no Loki in game. So make sure.
I mean, who is surprised that they don't want free gems over Loki?
It's going to be an awesome day of Smite.
I hear some hooting and hollering over on the
right.
sidelines
I hear
already.
The cries.
Yeah, we'll see those faces in just a minute, but it's time for us to venture into the new adventure. Let's take a look.
Oh, it's actually going to be all versus all deathmatch. Oh no, 3 teams. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. That is sick.
Gotta say, before we get into this adventure stuff, I'm very proud of our community for raising a ton of awesome money for Make-A-Wish Georgia. That was amazing. But I'm also really proud of us for getting rid of Loki for a day. Good work, team. That was the right team. Team Vanish is the way to go.
Wait, I thought it was...
And I've got a team with me here on
the gem
set
team.
now.
I'm confused.
Joined by Fishman, of course, one of the designers, and Christian Davis. Christian, the lead environment artist for Smite. Guys, this adventure, I gotta say, you know, I got a chance to play it a little bit a while ago as we were ramping it up. I have been waiting for this for a while. 3v3 v3.
V3, that's right. I'm so excited we finally got to do this. And that cinematic was killer. That's the first time I've seen it. The game itself is really awesome. So I'm excited to tell you more about that today.
Christian, what can you tell us about the environment? Like, what is the area that we're battling in? What's going on here?
Yeah, so we took a lot of inspiration from the old Clash, and we said we want to do all new art for it. Basically, we've just themed it around Medusa, and basically the middle part is the tomb, and it has all this like really cool relic, and it's about this forgotten village and area that prays this middle area, and so it's basically just an old worn down village.
It looks really, really good. I can't wait to get in game and see a little bit more about what's actually happening. But Fish, tell me about this 3v3v3 mechanic. Normally in Smite, it's just 2 teams.
Sure.
How difficult was it to add that 3rd team, and how does that change the dynamic of the mode?
It was surprisingly difficult. There are a lot of parts of Smite that have been there since the dawn of time that just assume I'm either my team or the enemy team. So if I'm not on my team, I must be on the enemy team.
There are gonna be bugs, expect that.
There are
Oh!
enemy teams.
Stealth grass.
Gods that we went back and fixed, and some like core mechanics like towers and stuff. Just all kinds of little stuff that just assumed that. And we've gone and polished all that up so that you can actually play versus yourself and another team after that. You can definitely get a spoiler in there. In normal Smite, it's just one team's ahead, one team's behind. In this, once one team pulls ahead, both the other teams kind of recognize, like, all right, we should really start killing them.
I like that. I like this stealth a lot.
Which adds a whole new dynamic to the game.
The output potential of that is crazy.
Who's on each team on the top left of your screen there. Nice little, easy to understand UI. So it looks like kind of an arena thing, but Christian, the mini map, I'm taking a look at it right now. it's starting to close in there. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, so the map in total is separated by 3 parts, and then right on the outside is this big
Well, what a
it's basically essentially a
new
fog
concept that totally not many
that
games right now are using.
pushes all the players inside into the center objective.
Okay, so there is a center objective. What is that center objective?
You want to talk about?
That's the death mask. So this whole thing is like a refound tomb to Queen Cobra Medusa, and inside you've got this little obelisk with her death mask on it. When you kill that, you get a buff. Your whole team gets a buff for the whole round. So if you see up the top, the UI element says round 2. There can be between 3 and 7 rounds, and for the rest of this round, you're going to have a buff on your entire team that increases your damage dealt, giving your team just a little bit of edge on the other 2. So
Oh god, Guan Yu is in this mode in his current state.
Kind of push you towards the center.
Jeez.
Kind of force aggression over the course of the match, so no one can like.
Is it all
stay,
gods?
over in little pockets and not have to fight and make it to the end that way.
So we're getting a little in-depth here, but I suppose we should take a step back and just talk
Sure.
about what the actual mode is. It's 3v3v3, and it's round-based.
That's
so
right.
You just have to eliminate the enemy team. First to 3 wins, right?
Sure. So it's last man standing. So of all these teams, the last team that has any members surviving a round, that team wins the round. And then you've got those little, you see the HUD up the top, you've got 3 little pips under each of the team symbols. And the first team to get all 3 of those wins the entire game. And each one of those represents one of the rounds. So it'd be the last man standing 3 rounds, and you got the game.
So it looked like there were some potions around the map. There
Sure.
is some element of sustain that you could find there.
In the little watery areas, you can see a little healing potion. In addition to retroactive healing, it also gives you a preemptive shield.
Oh, nice.
5% of your max health, so that you can grab them before you really get into the throes of combat and have just a little bit of edge for that first center objective fight.
Now, Christian, I see a lot of bushes around. Are you? And it looked like you were going invisible almost in those. Is there a stealth mechanic there?
There is. So there was something that was pretty popular with one of the adventures we had made, which was Nile Stealth Grass. And so I think we wanted to bring that back and wanted to play around with it. Basically, when you leave your base, there's those potions on the outside, and they're set up with Nile grass that's around that's good for ganking. And basically, when you can go in it, you can stealth and jump on your enemy teams, or if you're in a big major fight, you can hide in it and get away. But yeah, it's represented by the big tall grass, and they're sprouted throughout the entire map.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I feel like there's gonna be so much
Okay,
in this
so
mode that's gonna be
let's
broken
roleplay
just
for a
through
second
different
here.
gods
Say
that
I'm
have different
a little
interactions
tiny
with
baby
many
stand
enemies
player,
and stuff.
Like F-Dot. Let's just.
But I
use a
think it's gonna be
random
really
name
cool
that I
anyways.
just came up with.
I like the
picture it.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what if I just want to hide around until the very end of the round and not really, and just try and play cleanup after the other 2 teams duke it out? Is that a sound strategy
All
for
right, so
me?
let's talk about upsides and downsides. So the upsides of that is that there's a good chance, especially around that center objective, that the other 2 teams are going to fight each other and likely pick off each other. So at least one of the teams is going to be down one or potentially all of their members, giving you an increased chance to win because you'll still be full members, full health. Now,
Sure.
the downsides are that each time you get a kill, your whole team gets a power buff, similar in strength to the red buff. It gives both some flat magical or physical power and some percentage-based power of either type. And each time anyone on your team gets a kill, your whole team gets that buff. So you can get to up to 3 times for killing one team, and then up to another 2 times for killing 2 members of the third team before you kill the last guy. And so if you're sitting there waiting in the grass as F-Dot,
Yes.
you're going to be
this
weaker in that
crying
final
a little
fight.
bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Like huddling,
Right.
kind of like rocking
Whimpering.
yourself gently.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have the safety of your whole team and full health, but you're going to be at a disadvantage by not having that power buff for not having.
If the buff lasts long enough, that's actually
And
pretty
that
fair.
power buff stacks, you were telling me
It
earlier.
does, it
Like,
does.
It's pretty crazy. If you start killing a lot of people, like if one team wipes another, you have to get in there quick while they're low before they heal up, because this power buff is strong.
Sure. So it stacks in 2 ways. One, you can just get one instance of that buff for each person you kill. So you can have it up to 5 times before you kill the last person. The other way it stacks is it starts out really weak and actually ticks up over the course of 10 seconds. So if we're in a close 3v3 and I'm real low and you're real low, I don't instantly become stronger and finish you off. You have a chance over the course of those 10 seconds while it's ticking up before it reaches full strength. After that, though,
I like that
I'm gonna have
mechanic.
this full strength buff and you're not. So I'm going to have a huge advantage.
That would be
It
cool
looks
for other
like
modes as
the
well.
healing that you get from getting the kills, the potions that drop, those are little like death scrolls.
That's right.
Christian?
Oh, it lasts for
Like,
5 minutes. It lasts
what
definitely
was
the entire round as well.
The environment as a whole, you're in this tomb, but you've got to get potions and like a buff in the middle. How difficult was that to come up with thematic things that can kind of fit that role?
Yeah, so we went through a lot of different iterations, and we talked with the team about how can we divide the outside and the inside, because there's a lot of different objectives. The center objective, and then the outside objectives, and then stealth grass. Basically, there's 3 different teams, so we separated into 3 different parts of the village. There's the docks, there's the market, and then there's the fire brazier area.
Sure.
And so basically, we just tried to thematically make each section feel unique, and so when players are trying to either hide or gank or do objectives, they know exactly where they're at. And the potions and the center objective just kind of all fell into place. And we did a lot of play tests. I was pretty much in there every day getting destroyed, but as long as I knew where I was,
fun, right?
Yeah, it was part of my fun. And the scrolls went up and down on how strong they were, and the scrolls definitely make a big difference.
Sure.
They also separate the rewards, so you get the buff for killing an enemy team automatically. They die, it goes to if the kills on your team, you get that buff. That's just going to happen. But the heal to help you be on even kill as far as health and mana, that you have to go and pick up. And if it's in the middle of a fight, there's some risk to going back into the center, and other teams can kind of plan around you going there and kind of try to set up on the scroll to punish you for trying to pick that up.
Sure. So how does the gold work? Like we saw that there were buying items at the beginning and in between rounds. Is everyone getting the same amount of gold, or do you get it based on how well you're doing?
So you're going to start at level 5 at 2,500 gold, and then each round, everyone's going to start at that. And then each round, regardless of who won, regardless of kills, everyone's going to get bumped up by the same amount of gold, the same amount of levels, until at the end you're level 20 and you get tons of gold. So everybody's on an even kill each round. Now, some gods are going to be better at the beginning, and some gods are going to be better at the end, just like in our other modes. But as far as actual gold and actual XP, that's matched across all teams.
So you can try and make an early game comp like, we got to win the first 3 rounds or we're in serious trouble, or you just got to stall, let the other teams win some rounds, and then we've got Mercury and Chang'e in the late game.
Both of those should be
to
viable.
Dominate. Yeah.
And one of the things that helps keep both of those viable is that you're going to have a little indicator. So on each of the nameplates, in addition to the normal health bar and player name, you've got a faction icon.
Sure.
So that you can see, oh, that's on the blue team, that's on the pink team, that's on the yellow team. Well, when one team gets 2 wins, they're going to have a little crown show up over their team to let you know, oh, hey, if they win one more round, they've got it.
Oh.
So that's going to help you punish those early game comps and give you time for the stall comps to come into play. It's because the other team will probably identify with you, those are the guys who should be fighting. And help you get to the end.
So we already saw the skin that you'll get whenever you purchase the arena bundle, or the adventure bundle, excuse me, which is that Desert Queen Medusa. Not only will you just feel better playing it on the map, no real advantage, but look good, feel good, match the map, doesn't hurt. That's all I'm trying to say.
Skins if you want to win.
That's exactly. Yeah. What else do you get from purchasing this adventure bundle?
So we've got several thematic items. We've got a new musical score that we've got.
Okay.
We've got the Deathmatch theme. We've got a Deathmatch jump stamp and a Deathmatch ward skin. All of which come with
Come on, guys.
as well as, of course, the 2018 gold key, which lets you get our new gold vault skin as well.
And that is the Achilles skin that we saw earlier, the
right.
advanced Achilles. I forget exactly what it's called, but close enough.
No loss there in my book.
Before we wrap up here, this is a mode that, again, I had a ton of fun playing. I think the different team comps is something that is really fun to experiment with. We tried to run triple warriors, thought that was going to be super good because we were like, oh, we just won't die. We died and it didn't work too well. What are some of the favorite combinations that you
I feel like Raven's got to be big.
Get some sort of idea of gods that you think are pretty good in the mode.
So the general strategy that we saw was you kind of go near your potion, and most people, there's a very slight map based reward for doing this. Most people tend to go clockwise towards their nearest potion, and then wait in the grass until it spawns, grab that, and then head to the center, and you should be there just in time to contest the first spawn of the center objective. As far as team comp, what we saw being very rewarding was 2 really meaty warriors. Chalk, Hercules did very well because they've got some self-sustain. And then 1 damage and healing mage, like a Ra or a Hell.
Okay.
That threw down pretty well across various balances.
What about for you, Christian? I mean, I know you were out there dominating. Anything you touched was working. But what made it feel the least fair to the enemies?
Least fair, dude. Picking someone with range like Janice, and who can snipe these center objectives and stuff, and then even he could put his 2 or his 2 and his 1 right through the Nile grass and stuff. So if people are hiding, Janice is good.
Oh,
hide.
gee.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mages, I thought mages did really well, but me personally, I picked nothing but assassins. Execute all the way.
All the way. And Medusa looked like she was doing pretty well in that video as well. So there are some definitely different play styles you can go for. One thing I do want to bring up before we toss it over to the balance section is we thought that healers were going to be super OP. That was like easy free wins, and they were good. but your relics reset between each round, so you're guaranteeing a cursed Ankh on you every time if the enemy team is itemizing well. So something to keep in mind.
That's actually pretty good.
You guys did an
I like
awesome
that.
job. Literally,
I like the reset.
Wait to play this. Thank you so much for joining us on the couch here as well. Let's throw it over to Hindu Man and Pon. Again, Pon, I'm really sorry, dude. I want to be there with you. I really do.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah, well, we've got Palm, but we've also got AJ too. No point out from aggro about that.
Wait, no balance changes, but Ajax.
I mean,
Strange.
doing great.
Yeah. Ready for an exciting balance section this week?
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
if people are paying really close attention to that Medusa video, they would have seen one.
They were paying attention. I already saw comments.
yeah,
Someone
really?
noticed.
Nice.
Which that is impressive.
Wait,
you really
good.
had to notice.
People's noticing the balance change for Medusa in that rather than looking at how cool that event's going to be?
I mean, people are apparently quite observant
Yeah.
at times because I was impressed.
I didn't actually notice it.
And they were correct.
Didn't look at it closely.
Looking for the sneaky things. Let's start things off then. We're here for the patch notes section. This is all to do with balance and bug fixes too. We're going to start things off with bug fixes this week as well. Something we do still do bug fixes. We've just not been promoting them on the show as much. And I think a lot of the community have been like, wait, what? Why are we not doing that? So we're going to take the time and do it.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of an update just to make sure everything's clear. So a little while back, we delayed a patch. That we took a lot of extra time inside the SMITE team to look at our process and just the order of events, the way we do things. So we delayed that patch. We made a lot of changes to our process. That's really what we did the most of. So this is not necessarily something players are going to see right away. This is something that we feel, though, every day in our schedule. And then we released PC, Xbox, and PlayStation all at the same time, which was really exciting. So since that delay, a lot of people seem to think that that's going to like ripple effect or anything like that. And that's why I'm trying to clarify here today, which is we are back on the 2-week schedule.
Okay.
Ideally, patches will launch on Tuesdays simultaneously.
Right.
But there's always a chance that they might not. We might have to delay it. This patch we had to go till Wednesday.
Sure.
That was for a small issue regarding the terms and agreements, which actually have to be fixed. It's not an option.
Yeah, getting out on that one.
That one, no, you have to.
Have to have that
Right. So in the future, we will be aiming again for the 2-week launches on Tuesdays.
2 weeks.
But we will always update the community if there is any delays or if one platform is having any additional issues that the others are not. But that's going to be back to the normal schedule. So that delay not going to affect, not going to change things.
So the only thing you guys at home really need to know is that patch notes are now on a Friday.
Right.
The patch is still going to come out probably on a Tuesday. On the very rare occasion, it may come out a little bit later than that, just as it always has in the past. So get over it. We're fine. We're back to normal.
Right.
That's step one. Step two, let's go through some of the bug fixes that you guys have been after game fixed, first of all. Fixed issues where players could not scroll properly on the following pages.
Oh!
Season ticket info, glossary settings, social, ranked information, adventure information. All those have been adjusted.
Yes!
Fix also an issue where swapping skins in the God Select lobby could prevent them from banning a god.
Yep.
Very good.
Damn.
Fixed.
Yep.
That was crazy.
That's really hurting me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like
That
I
was
was.
your strat.
Oh, yeah.
When I was first pick, I was just spamming skins so I could
Banned.
make.
Yeah, banning you.
No,
Stu.
no.
Yep.
Stu,
Someone get
Stu,
Stu.
don't be listening. No, that's not what happened.
Get him in here.
Honest, it's okay. After that, fix an issue where the scoreboard could display incorrect information after a player disconnects. Is that when the
That's where like
The
you
items
saw you near
change?
ADC.
that looked dope?
Community was
That
having
was
a lot
great.
of fun memeing these images.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, look at this crit Freya. You know, I wish we were playing Season 0 every now and
They
then.
went
but
all the way back
not
there.
not actually just a UI bug, and it is fixed.
Fix an issue where the replay button would not function and could bring users into a bad state. No more bad state from that. Fix an issue where the in-game mute button, text VGS, would sometimes not mute players. That worked? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sometimes when you hit that button, it just didn't activate.
Never experienced that. Interesting.
Now it does.
Now I can really mute. Console only. Fix an issue where viewing a friend recent history resulted in a crash. There you go, console guys. You get some love too. Fix an issue where the thumb mouse button could trigger pings randomly on the mini-map. Oh, that's a
This
big
was a
one.
fun one, yeah.
That's a
Certain
big
people
one.
with certain keybinds were experiencing this a lot, and it's funny because other players were like, "Oh, I've never had that happen to me ever." It really depends on what you're doing with your, mouse of different brands and stuff with the different buttons. I've got one with a bunch of thumb buttons because I really like thumb buttons. But
some games I use thumb buttons, some games I don't. Smite not one that I've really used.
Really?
I
I
know
put-
a
I
lot
put
of
my
pros
ability.
like to have relics on there.
oh yeah, that makes sense.
Some of those, just a quick
Another thing to
action
add is that this is not all the bug fixes for the patch.
That's
This is
fine,
one
my
of the
relics.
A select few that were really impacting players.
Yeah.
There's a lot more small ones. You'll see that on the patch notes.
Yeah, when we get to the
And
actual
you
God
should
section,
be
you'll see
seeing
a
that
bit more.
consistently on patch notes as we go forward. Long lists of bugs, and we'll talk about the most impactful ones on the show.
So item balance it is then. Let's move on to there because that's a couple of the updates. And you can see Heavenly Wings is going to be the first item, or relic I should say, to be adjusted. We're going to be reducing the movement speed you get from this from 30% to 20%.
What's the big reason for this, guys?
So I think the big goal here is Heavenly Wings had this really powerful play that you can make early on where you picked it up, you upgraded it first, and then if you had a really aggressive comp, like let's say you had a very aggressive support and hunter that could make advantage of this, they pop this and just run down the opponent really early.
Right.
Which is a cool strategy. That's actually a really cool thing. It's just for the amount of power that you can get for doing this play, it was also really, really good for the whole course of the game as well, outpacing in a lot of other relics and a lot of other situations.
I can see that, but I feel like more other relics need more early on.
Really early game strategy.
Cursed Ankh needs more early on.
The effect that you're going to have over the course of the whole game off having it is going to be a bit toned down.
Like team relics I'm talking about.
A chance to still be able to chase them down, I guess, if you're going to pop sprint to disengage.
Well, really, this change came from the results of the land and from discussion with pros, pro feedback. We saw this strategy working a lot. Pros felt that this strategy was strong and was fun and was interesting, but it was just a little too uncounterable, which is why we didn't make any drastic changes to the way the relic functions. And still, we're keeping the slow immunity, we're keeping the haste on the upgrade, because it was all about buying that upgraded relic at level 1. That's a really cool idea. But the fact that Heavenly Wings could also do that at level 1, as well as like bail out your entire team to escape a fight when they needed to late game, things like that. So that's where just toning down the speed a little bit should allow for more counterplay and still allow the strategy to be viable.
Don't think that is dead by any stretch of the imagination.
I don't think it's dead either. It's a counter item, definitely not.
It's going to get a bit of a buff this patch, it says.
This is actually more text fix.
Oh.
This is just a text fix.
Why have you written buff?
Yeah, that's a typo. That's our bad.
Hate you guys.
Our mistake.
I get all excited. I'm like, okay, buff. Text fix. Increase the basic attack bonus damage. Oh, that's how wow, they're well ahead. So first of all, Celestial Legion Helm updated description text to make it more clear that stacks are only lost on physical god damage. Right. So not from minions or
not from minions, not from jungle camps, not from item effects like Crusher.
Right. There's a lot of speculation. People, some people weren't sure if it was doing that. They
never actually tested that, so
good to know. Because they assumed it would work that way. So just making that more clear.
So onto Hydra's Lament, you can see it on the screen there. We're actually going to increase the basic attack bonus damage from 40 to 50%. So those jungles are going to
Hydra's buff is going to be nasty.
So we have a few changes here targeted towards more basic
bots.
characters. You saw a few others that we're cycling through.
Damn.
But essentially, for example, Hydra's Lament is this thing that players can use when they cycle abilities really quickly if they're focused on getting a lot of basic attack damage off. Augmenting that from 40% to 50% really helps the item shine if you're utilizing it well. Low-key players, for the day that they don't get it taken away from them, we'll be able to use it pretty effectively. For example, ZiSotto is another character that can weave auto attacks really effectively.
Bots with the crit. That's the big deal here.
So a bit more potency for that item, see how that works out. You saw a couple of items come up on the screen.
That's the Sana maybe too.
Haste and Katana next. He's going to get a price reduction here. It was 2,400 gold. It's going to come down by 200 gold to 2,200. Now this item's been picked up here or there, but
that's huge.
You just think it's just too expensive?
No, we really are just focusing on a whole subsection of the assassin class. Right. Specifically the basic attack focused ones.
That is huge.
Kali, Bakasura, some of these assassins are really not prioritized as much as the ability-based assassins. So we're trying to look at their core items and give them some love there.
Okay.
Specifically, the item statistically seems quite strong, so we wanted to go for a cost reduction just to make sure that these assassins are getting online a little early.
It's a lot for the stats. It might be good for others as well now.
It has pretty intense stats already. It would feel like we were pushing it a little too far, I think, if we went heavier on power penetration, etc. So we went for the cost decrease, and then we're doing the same thing with the Midgardian Mail.
Yeah, I guess this is part of that. Midgardian Mail we saw on the screen a minute ago,
we
which is
fixed the RNG on that item.
Earlier
which we, mathematically calculating it was relatively even in power, but turns out fixing RNG for consistency is a lot, like even though the numbers don't support it, that's a big buff. Being reliable is actually a pretty big buff. So we're getting the health coming down on that to make that item a little bit more focused, similar with Hydra's. We're focusing on the passives. So we're nerfing the stats here. So you really want to get this item to specifically counter some gods. Making this not so must-buy, hopefully could bring up those basic attack assassins.
Okay, also it makes those hyper carries, like you'll focus to get this item for a hyper carry like an Artis or
I feel like it's still too good at countering AA assassins though.
Right.
I feel like it still needs to split between
Kali and Baka special.
mid-lane ranged.
Yeah,
of course.
I'm happy with this patch. This is great.
It's either mages or junglers. That's all that ever seems to happen now. Item balance graphic. Let's go to that.
But that was it.
Exactly what
if they wanna bring AA gods back, as much as Hasten Katana will help them,
that is a buff,
they will have to target them individually. I'm pretty sure.
Hydra's Lament and Hasten.
Ability damage is too rewarding overall, and Midgardian is still very, very strong, even with a little less health.
And the Midgardian Mail too.
So this helps the hybrid assassins more than the raw AA assassins. I'm pretty sure.
Into gods then we go. We're going to start off with Achilles. He's always been a terror in your games.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of nerfs already, but we're going to tweak his
Okay,
passive.
I'm
this
surprised
time
about
around.
this.
Yes, of the gods. The physical power bonus has been decreased
Oof.
from 10 plus 2 per level to now 3 plus 2 per level. And we've also decreased the passive movement speed from 3% plus
Excuse me, that was
0.2
me.
per level to 1% plus 0.25 per level. So overall, the passive's just been decreased slightly.
Yeah, so the power is just a raw decrease, and the movement speed is a kind of more of a shift, but it still is a decrease overall.
Right.
And largely the decreases are focused on the
Very surprised about
Achilles,
this.
Very potent early game. We've said it a few times,
Sure.
and his ability to like scale from the early game to the late game is kind of like where people can catch him. But his ability to fight in the early game is still too high. 10 bonus power really early on is quite good, as we've seen.
No, right.
And so we're turning that down, making it so that the early game choice, you actually might want to go the defensive route,
Right.
or you might want to go the offensive route. And that's also another reason for this change, is we were seeing a lot of useless of shirtless Achilles,
Which we
and
love,
we're seeing
but-
very little.
I mean, a lot of
usage
people like
the
shirtless
armored
Achilles,
I
but
mean,
some armored would be nice now and
Yes.
again.
we want to just make sure there's a meaningful choice.
That's
there.
fair.
Yeah,
And
so.
we've had that issue with Ratatoska, for example, with the Acorns in the past. You know,
Wait, there's not going to be
there's always
nerfs to
gonna
the
be one that's been
defense farm at all?
to an extent, but this is
Right.
kind of trying to answer that.
Yeah.
And you know, even no matter how close they are, there will still probably be
Sure.
the one that most people favor. But
Sure.
we just want to make sure there's that choice there. And the great thing about Achilles is you can shift back and forth too, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
And we found that people were overwhelmingly going shirtless in the early game for that power and movement speed. Achilles was, in fact, like the most early game god in
Yeah.
the game. So we're kind of toning down his early game bit so he doesn't feel so crazy impactful right away.
Next up, then, it's going to be
I feel like the defensive stance should be a lot better now. All things considered.
We've increased the duration of the CC immunity from instant cleanse to a 0.3 seconds of immunity, as well as we've adjusted the time at which the cleanse triggers from before the setup or pre-fire to after the setup or pre-fire. So that means the detonation.
Yeah, so this is interesting.
Oh.
Is that right? Is that
Not,
how I
not,
read it? That's how
not
it
in a
reads.
detonation.
Oh,
I'll walk you through it.
please do, because like
Um,
I'm going to be a little bit confused. about
So, Chiron, believe it or not, had a cleanse
it. He did.
on training exercise. A
does.
lot of players
And
did.
no one knows.
It was not very easy to communicate visually because
Right.
people associate CC immunity with the gold glow.
Of course.
And there's not that many other abilities that cleanse without that Geb shield being one of the
Yeah,
only
right.
ones. And that is, iconic in its own way, so it's very clearly visual. But, so what we're doing here is we're giving Chiron CC immunity on himself and
Right.
allies in training exercise. That's going to trigger the gold glow. It's going to make it really obvious
Oh,
that training exercise is cleansing people.
right.
And it's a really short CC immunity, so it's hard to use in a preemptive way.
Sure.
But it's mostly a cleanse. We also, once we put that gold glow, you could really see the order of events on this ability, which was relatively complicated, actually. So what
I like
happened
that.
previously is
Just the
Chiron
visual
started
clarity.
the ability before, like at the very first second, fraction of a second, before the ability even appeared on the ground, when Chiron started his animation, is when he would cleanse people.
Right.
Which is just kind of strange and inconsistent for Smite. We wanted that cleanse to be as fast and responsive as possible, but it was kind of breaking consistency and visual rules. We wanted to shift that. So now what you're going to see is Chiron's going to do his animation. It's like a little point. And then the ground circle is going to start appearing. That's when you're going to get cleansed. So it's got a very nice feel to it. You get this very clear boom. As soon
Nicer
as
feeling,
this
but
animation, the gold
whereas
glow goes
cleanse
off.
in comparison
Then
because it's not
we have a
instant
delay
anymore,
period
I
before it
guess.
explodes and deals
Okay.
damage.
And it's 0.3 seconds, so it's a very small.
But then a
amount.
longer
But at the same
duration,
time, it
so
can be very impactful.
It is, and one of the cool things about the timing shift is now that there's some animation time, you can actually cast it
In response.
in response to something,
Not
get hit
preemptively.
by something, and cleanse it.
Yeah,
Although
so
it's
if you're-
very difficult.
Yeah,
So
if you're
on
really
gank
good.
attempts, then you could just like training exercise yourself and then start running, knowing that you can't be
Yeah,
cancelled
so
out.
if you hear that like Hoonbots blink over the wall, you know he's going to ult immediately. You place that right down there, you'll cleanse yourself, maybe get out in time.
Okay.
It's also very possible that the other player just waits for a second though,
Yeah.
and then hits you after you cleanse early.
And
because
then, and
it's-
then you're probably dead.
there's a lot of skill to there. And didn't we have another change for Chiron? I don't see on
I
this.
don't see it.
It is not on this list.
Is it
you're right.
happening?
It is.
I'm-
It is happening.
I'm very sure that we put the
Oh.
a slight increase on.
Yeah,
Ooh.
basketball shot too.
Okay, it's just not on
Yeah.
our notes. Yeah,
Okay.
masterful shot. Great.
There we go.
Yeah, so this was not quite feeling that impactful.
I'm surprised. I think this is a lot for Chiron.
Bit of a tank shred, a little of a more of a.
I guess, I mean, with Titan's been nerfed though,
Sure.
But for 3%, people didn't notice that much.
Yeah.
Bump that up to 5%. Still slight. because
built him
of
like
the
full ability
shot,
bruiser.
But we wanted to work on.
Not a bruiser, but ability.
Okay. All right, so 2 changes.
Brawlers, Crusher style, maybe without percentage pen.
Next up, a bit of a fix here. Just
Good work.
at home, Golden Apple of Discord. We fixed an issue where the apple could visually disappear before hitting a target or reaching its max range.
Oh yeah, that would be weird.
I've seen that happen a couple of times before, but it's nice to have that sorted out so you can definitely see where it's going.
Yep.
First of all, now we
good fix.
disappear. After that, it's Guan Yu time. You got buffed. You need a nerf.
Yeah.
It's a small nerf, I'd say, but in the grand scheme of his kit, but at the same time, this is a big impact to his healing, his sustain. 2 times.
Oh wow, he's definitely getting shifted from being a healer now.
So I think this is just going to overall bring him down from where the recent buff brought him. He got a lot of utility. He was able to really reliably heal, slow, shred for a lot of like over the course of the fight, he could do this really often. And so when you can
Interesting.
for that base amount pretty heavily and pretty reliably for your team, it's pretty good. And we saw Guan Yu really skyrocket in performance. And so when we were looking at him as a whole, we were like, well, what does he bring to the fight? What can we tone down? What are the things that he really excels at? And one thing is healing, and healing is something we've also just kept a really close eye on in general, as we've seen healing kind of sneak its way into the meta, and people are still trying to figure out if it's necessarily a good thing to do or not. But the healing he brought was really high. Tone that down so that he's a bit more manageable to deal with. And then we'll see where he goes.
I mean, he still has more amped up healings overall now, I guess. So.
Already.
Because it's only just started moving that way, and then maybe we'll see some adjustments if required.
Yeah, we've even seen some shifts in the pro meta too. Like we actually didn't see that much prioritization of Aphrodite this week.
No,
not that much. We expected more based on the land results, but not that much. We kind of went back to Ra and Guan.
We're seeing healers though.
We are. We're seeing them. So Guan Yu, the buff we're really excited about that buff. It's super fun. Just made the god so much more fun to play. His pick ban rate went from like 2% in rank to like 60%, which is awesome. You know, bring back an old school god and really.
I think he's still very good.
But he needed a little nerf too.
Next up,
the nerf is fair.
Very interesting god to say the least. A lot of people have been asking for stuff here. Now this is a
what
we call a shift, because we're going to be doing some love to him, but also decreasing some.
Okay, there's got to be a nerf here, yeah.
Frustrating here. So before you all panic about seeing increased base HP from 365 to 400, well, that's the buff alongside decreases HP per level, which is a nerf actually, from 68 to 67. So he gets more base health at the start. But
still more overall, I think, if I didn't see it wrong.
Goes alongside the water cannon adjustment here as well. So we're going to be reducing the amount of damage water cannon does. It was 90 to 290. It's going to start a little bit lower now. 70, still going up to 290.
That takes away a lot of early aggression.
So Hebo's early game healthier,
but water spout is where the damage is coming from.
Really causing a lot of ranked frustration. Mostly. His priority was super high. His performance was very strong, and this ability that does about as much damage as a normal mage attack was on an extremely low cooldown.
Yes.
It still is.
Yeah, I was gonna say still is.
And we love that. You know,
wait, am I thinking wrong? Oh, water cannon is the. Oh, my bad then. Never mind. Then it's actually huge.
Ability later.
I thought that the other one is water cannon.
What we perceive.
Oh right, no, the 3 is water spout.
Okay.
Never mind. 15. Very strong nerf.
At the end
with that low cooldown it has.
40 at the beginning of the game. 35. But to sacrifice a good bit of his damage, where he really is a bad snowball character. He can, if he takes off early, it's a real trouble. And also he was like crazy squishy compared to a lot of the other mages. So want to just take a look at those stats and look at those frustration reasons.
Yeah,
so as you can see by the numbers as well, I mean, realistically, everything is gone down in terms of damage except the last rank of that ability is going to stay the same.
Yeah, and so you can see like he ends about the same power level as he does currently, but in the early game, that's where you have the largest bit of the shift.
All of his aggression is from the early game on. Most of his and late game is just a one shot.
Evening that up, so
one trick, one trot pony, basically. So I can absolutely see that would have a major impact.
Yeah. We'll be keeping an eye on him though, because he's still surprisingly highly prioritized in ranked, although not necessarily so much in SPL.
Just like Achilles, he's a pub stomper. That's what some of those guys do. Kukulkan, a bit of a fix for him this patch. Whirlwind fixed an issue where the tornado that appears on targets afflicted by whirlwind would appear horizontal.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one.
That's odd.
Sounds interesting.
Okay. I'm just gonna close my window here.
That's interesting, that's for sure. Also, another fix for Kuzumbo in here. Watery Grave, reduce the forgiveness timer between... Oh, this
sorry about that.
It is a buff.
Okay. Reduce the forgiveness timer between individuals to hit back from 0.7 to 0.6 from this ability. This was due to a bug where players would most likely not get hit 4 times in his ultimate, even if they should have.
Yeah, it was
interesting.
Weird, it was intended to have
a bit of
timing, so you don't like. Obviously, we can make an ability hit pulse, right? We want to pick the pulse time, but this ability had kind of a weird timing where when you added up all the pulses and the total duration of the ability, you had like a 0.1 second, like
To hit all
tiny
of
little
them.
window.
Right.
No, you couldn't even hit anyone.
Oh, right.
It was
okay.
actually impossible to get that last hit. So you had essentially what was a whole like 0.6 seconds of wasted time,
Oh
where
my
they
gosh.
looked like they were in the ultimate.
And we just buffed Cousin Bo as well
So
last
we
patch.
fixed that to make his ultimate total duration hit the number of pulses match up.
So we'd actually
Nice. I like that.
nerf on him and nobody knew about it, and now he's been buffed.
It's always been like that for
Sure,
quite a while.
but I'm
this
saying, like, that's
specific
kinda what it is.
issue.
It's
But now
kinda
it is
cool.
a buff. It was something more of
Okay.
a frustration or a feels or like a weird feedback thing where like, holy cow, it felt like that guy was standing in my ultimate for quite
But
a
I didn't
while, but
get
it didn't hit him because 0.7 seconds is actually quite a long time.
Sure.
In SMITE terms.
Yeah.
Just shifting that to 0.6 a little bit, making sure you get that extra hit.
Okay, well, Chiron.
It's relatively easy to get out if you have a leap or something.
Medusa buff as well. A couple of people noticed it, and it's a small change to Viper Shot. It's going to get a bit of a, I'd say, the Hachiman treatment of basically as you level up Viper Shot.
Well, you max act second, so that's
Medusa has seen a
actually
little
pretty
bit of play,
good.
but at the same time, she's
Wow.
on the lower end from what I understand.
Yeah, so in SPL,
I
the
am
lower end of scene play.
positively surprised, I would say.
Initially, overall performance
Right.
has been, she's been on the bottom end of Hunters for quite some time. We've been watching her really closely because she has the potential to really impact team fight and impact trading really well. But we just haven't seen that this season, especially as Hunter builds have kind of stabilized out a bit after all the early changes. And so
If
Medusa,
critical builds come
after
out, that
seeing
would
her
help
sit
her
that
a
low for
lot.
that long, seeing the fact that like all the other shifts haven't really helped her or brought her into light, giving her some love so that she can trade a bit more effectively in the late game.
It just feels like there's sort of right ability to look at doing that on as well, because she's got a lot of damage already. She's got a great control in team fight, so maybe this is just the last little tweak she needs.
Yep, and you have to land them.
Okay, that makes sense. You
The
got
problem
a lot
is
of
still
damage.
at 2.
Next up,
Always be.
NEZHA with a bit of a fix here. Windfire Wields fixing an issue where the target hit by this ultimate could move side to side when landing, so they could kind of reposition themselves. A little
Yeah,
bit
it's a
better.
Very slightly.
complicated ultimate, a lot of stuff going on. But players with the proper timing window on their way back down, there's a little bounce, a little knock up, and good players were moving themselves out of the way. So now you're going to always knock straight up on that.
So always straight down.
Always, yeah.
Okay, well, it makes those still ultimates a little bit easier for mouse sports. If they
Yeah,
might
those
bring
raw
those two
combos, etc.
The NEZHA
NEZHA Ra is popular.
NEZHA still is the most famous one.
Yeah, that
though,
one's
through
fun.
the years. Nike, next up, she's going to get a bit of a buff this patch, and it's a pretty big buff. Sentinel of Zeus. This ability will slow enemies by 40%, whether her plan of action is active or not.
Oh, that's
Wow. So this
big.
actually changes the potential order that you use the abilities and non-engages. Or
Yeah.
makes her want to engage a little bit more.
So that's what we largely did this change for. Was we saw a lot of feedback.
Damn.
Performance or ability to impact team fights is actually quite high, but we got consistent feedback that she just didn't feel as impactful. The choices she was making, you really weren't making a choice, because when you went in, you wanted to plan of action the ult because you got the slow, you got the giant health shield, and so you often didn't use it on Ren, you didn't use it on your lead.
No, you can blink
By making
Nike
that
and engage with the
you get that
ult.
Slow. Now your plan of action, you might be like, well, I actually don't need the tankiness from the extra shield. Maybe I want to leap in quicker to get more people with my slow. Or maybe I want to actually use the disarm to deal with that hunter that is actually.
Or use the one. That's the other
So
good deal.
By moving the slow there, you freed up choice for Nike players to really experiment with where they want to use plan of action.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, they'll still be a sacrifice if they want to do the more aggressive route because they won't get the shield. And the ability already slowed. We're just giving it the full.
That's a really strong slow. Like, so that's definitely
What
interesting.
we like about this the most is it changes up Nike's possible ability order, right? Especially for choosing offense or defense. I think too many times right now Nike's just kind of running around, and then when you're about to die, you plan of action your ult. And most of our players giving us feedback that's not the most exciting way to play.
Sure.
So with this change, you should get a lot more incentive to actually plan of action your leap and get in there.
Last on the list then, for the section this week, is a fix for the Mana. Colossal Fury fixed an issue where Colossal Fury was not getting extended duration for taking damage. Oh.
Yep, there's a bug. It's fixed.
Oh no, he's going to be even stronger now.
Hmm.
Yes, have a little look at the graphic for you guys at home, for you guys to just take a little look and see exactly what happened here. Chiron, Medusa, Nike, love, bit of...
Okay, so I would say that I like the changes for the most part here. I think Guan Yu needs a little more of a nerf, probably. What I am missing here is changes to AA guards if they really want to bring AA guards back outside of the item changes. Just like more individual targeted focus changes.
Is there any focus towards that later, or is this?
We're looking
good
towards
right now?
healing for sure. We're also getting close to mid-season. You know, we're about 3
Right.
patches away for that, so we're looking at a lot of bigger changes, conquest adjustments and stuff like that. for that change. But we have some pretty interesting balance changes still coming up in the next few patches. One of the things we're really looking at a lot is some older gods.
Yeah.
We have a lot of older gods that are performing super well still. You know,
Sure.
Athena, but we recently revived Xbalanque and Guan Yu with relatively simple changes, and which is really exciting.
They
So
really
we're
got
looking
revived as well.
to do that.
Can't
on a few
complain
more
with that,
gods
no.
in the next coming patches.
Cool.
And of course, we're spending a lot more, putting a lot more weight on picks and bans,
Right.
and just overall prevalence of the god, even if the performance does not necessarily sync up. So we're going to
I
constantly
think
be looking.
Nike's a good example of that.
If
A lot of people think like
mid-season patches in 3
right,
patches, then we'll
right.
see the matchmaking changes that possibly already.
Achilles too, nerfing Achilles.
Talk about that
is still
tomorrow.
Just he's being 99% of games.
That's right.
Which is just too many. So although his casual,
I'm okay
he's
with
such a fun god. His casual and ranked performance are not that astounding.
Right.
But we're really focusing on that more. So in the next couple patches, you're still going to see meta nerfs. Gods that are dominating the meta in picks. We're gonna be constantly looking to nerf them, and you're gonna see some old school gods that hopefully we can find some small tweaks to make big impacts. Like
Willish.
Okay, I'm
So
excited.
really excited about the next.
I mean, this
few
patch
patches.
is already good enough because we've also got that adventure coming. But
The
that's
adventure
enough
is so fun.
from us three on the desk. It's time to get it over to Aggro to go through those exciting looking skins we've got this week.
Thanks for the
Definitely
hands
looking
there,
forward to
Anthony. I
the
appreciate
3
that. I never would have
v3.
known it was my turn to talk without
3-3.
those. It's time for skins. You heard them right. And joining me here on the casual set, it's Tina and Ashley, some of the fan favorites. What's up, guys? How you doing today?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Can't complain with
Fan
how much,
fan
awesome stuff we
favorites.
got coming
I
in.
know, the adventure's amazing.
I wonder.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
It's like definitely one of my favorites.
It is
Or
probably
the
my
favorite.
favorite.
It's
Yeah. What do
We
I
gotta
have to
play.
do to make sure? Okay, wait. I'll get into that later. I want to make this a permanent game mode, but I'll start my
yes, no,
petition
I was asking for that.
later
I was
on.
asking. I was
We'll
asking.
get a petition going, everything like that. I don't know if
Yes.
that's what we'll
It's-
actually do. Let's get right into
It
it.
should be.
Skins is what you're here for and what we're here for. Galactic Void Chernobog is our first one. This is the reward for completing the Slavic event portion of the Divine Uprising event. And this is what, I mean, everyone knew this was coming, but it's still going to be really awesome.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I love all of the galaxy skins that we've done. They're just so
Yep.
cool. The colors are amazing, and the stars and the move around. And there's like moons on his texture and his wings. You know,
How
it's
many-
actually
gold
amazing.
on his,
Yeah,
on
there's
his
gold
wings
on his
too.
wings.
It's not on the
Ooh,
card art.
yeah, that's
but
true. I love the normally it's like very subtle. Everything outside of the galaxy.
Oh,
texture is very
the
subtle
cosmic
on
wings.
these
That's
skins,
nice.
but
I like
a lot
that.
more gold in this one, specifically
Yeah.
on the wings. That looks really,
it's
really
really
good.
cool. When he
Mm.
opens them, you can see like it's actually it's moving. It's like spiraling and shit.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't.
you can see.
Wow, that
see, look,
Tina,
wait.
that was literally like 45 seconds
It's
before
a
you
new
swore.
record.
Yeah, I don't know that it's even a new record at that point. It's okay. There he is in game, moving around. You can see the gold swirling around on the wings. A little bit less cosmic-y than some of the other cosmic skins, but
I wish the effect was moving more. But
stands
it's
out.
still nice.
In addition to it,
Well,
looks
the effects
really, really
might
good.
help.
Effects
Did it?
certainly
Did
help.
it?
There it is, nice and the crystalline little galaxy look right there, looking pretty solid.
Yeah, colors are great. Stars are great. And the
Everything's
sound
great.
effects. Yeah, everything's just great.
Everything
Sound is really
Oh,
cool
that's nice.
too.
very. It's
Speaking of
often like
Chernobog,
these galaxy skins are usually.
I've got something
kind of
really
ominous
cool
sounding,
coming up for
have
Chernobog.
have the really
Found
cool
out
sound
something
effects.
pretty cool.
This is like an
Gonna show you
orchestra
soon.
Playing alongside Chernobog.
Gonna be very
Yeah,
fun.
look at that.
So I should be a video of that
The little
soon.
Glitter.
Yeah. It's stars. Shh.
Still looks weird
Stars,
because
yeah,
it's
glittery stars,
two-dimensional.
that's what I said. Tina, come on.
Stars are just made of glitter.
Glitter, aren't they?
Yep.
Pretty much. I mean, that's basically what the entire universe is made out of, is just glitter everywhere.
Yeah, that looks
This is
pretty
when
similar.
Chernobog takes to the sky with his ultimate. Ooh, are those
Yeah,
like stars that?
post-processing.
Galaxy shadows, dude.
Yeah, well, that looks really, really cool.
Oh.
Love that front view of Chernobog there. Let's get the long-range ultimate here.
Yeah.
Oh, they're nice.
Oh.
Hyper speed.
Different effects. That looks
if you
cool.
will. That's really, really
I didn't think they
awesome.
could do much with the ult, but actually nice.
Actually the 3D artist on this skin used to be an intern,
Yes.
but is just destroying skins left and right, just making great stuff. So shout outs to him, man. He did a great job.
Austin shit.
Yeah, really, really awesome.
It's awesome.
I believe he's got his voice pack ready, but he also has a VXG.
VXG.
So let's start with the special emote.
He's
Yeah.
warping out.
What? And you can move?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty.
He's okay. Wait, how long can you
Wait.
do this before Chernobog gets
Dizzy.
motion sick?
yeah.
Before I get motion sick from watching it, Jesus.
That's so
But
cool.
that's pretty cool.
It's
Of course,
nice.
this will end as soon as
It's actually, it feels like it's gonna be a lot harder to see in that.
I imagine. Can't really use it.
Different from, say,
Actually,
Cabrakan
kinda making
VXG.
me a little motion sick, just like trying to
away,
follow it.
Tina.
Tina, look
Look
away.
away.
Look away. Look away. Everything's fine. Okay.
Not on
Let's get away from
Somebody's
the
gonna
music
hate
so Tina
that
doesn't mess up
because
our nice new
it's
set.
gonna look so wobbly.
Let's go to the voice pack.
Might want to slow that down a bit.
Good. Yes. Okay. Good. Absolutely stellar. I am out of this world. You did well. When the universe was born, I was already there. Look upon me and despair.
Ooh, a little rhyme.
Armor is all very unnecessary.
Actually, Clumsy wrote it. So.
Oh, nice.
How do I get this off?
Shouts to Clumsy.
Wait, have you ever gazed upon anything so magnificent? I have once. It was the sun, reflected in a raindrop.
Wow, that was really poetic.
So
and beautiful.
deep, dude.
I really thought he was going to be
Clumsy.
like, I have.
It's so deep.
It's me. You know, like I definitely thought that's where that was going. But Clumsy, man, it was. I don't know what kind of music Clumsy was listening to during that, but he was really deep in the feels right there.
Yeah.
That is Galactic Void Chernobog. Again, that is your reward for completing the Slavic portion of the Divine Uprising event. Next up is Star Trooper Achilles. This comes from the Gold Vault. This part of the adventure, you get a key whenever you purchase the adventure bundle for Medusa's Deathmatch.
I don't know.
This can be
I'm
the
not a
skin
fan of that.
that you unlock, and I've got a feeling that it's going to be very tempting to use that golden key here. This sort of aesthetic that we've gone for, it kind
I
of
feel like it's gonna look weird without armor as well. I'm not sure how they're gonna do that, but
recently.
So the
That was
story
awesome.
behind this skin.
The face
is
looks cool
that
on the
he
shield.
was like cryogenically asleep.
Oh man, there's a
for
whole lore.
thousands of years.
Oh my god.
And then some man woke him up, and he's like, "Whoa, I got some new armor." And now he's still himself, but
Okay.
he's in the future.
Okay.
And has a different
oh,
accent,
oh,
apparently.
he takes off his shoulder
That,
pads
So
instead.
there's a whole story behind this.
Yeah.
Gonna be hard to tell
armor version
visually.
it looks
I
like
think.
of Achilles.
what form
not,
he's
not
in.
quite the bare-chested beauty of the regular skin, but instead it got some enhanced muscles, if you
He's
will.
got some
Is this gonna be appropriate, Tina?
fiber optic. What is it called? The
Fiber
stuff?
optic abdominals.
Abdominals.
Nice. Okay, that was appropriate. Glad that surprised me there. I like the audio attack sound nice and cool. It's not as heavy as his actual spirit sounds like. He's got a nice lightweight new galactic light spear.
Ooh, I don't.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm not a fan of this one.
Yeah. Thank you for covering me there. Ashley. Tina was not about to go in there with me, but you had my back. There's the ultimate fatal strike. Looking really cool. Sounds. I like the voice lines that are going along with it. Definitely still has that Achilles swagger to him.
Yes. So he's still Achilles. He just, I guess, got a new voice box, and now he's American.
Well, now he's got a thing on his face. That's changing
Yeah.
his
It changes
voice.
your accent. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
he got a haircut.
right. Just may make him fit in more with his new galactic
Exactly.
friends.
Exactly.
You know, he won't be
exactly.
quite as strange. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here of Star Trooper Achilles.
Wow! Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Is this still the old pad or the new one? No, you know from the top of my head. I think it's a new one.
Didn't he need to teach you to fight?
Yeah, it's a new one.
Don't bring a knife to a laser fight. Whoa! I'm a hero in the past and the future.
Ah,
I'm a legend.
that's the there's the lore.
Yeah.
Stupid. I thought humans were more advanced now.
It's a
I
whole
like it.
story here.
That VEG is my favorite though. Can I get
It's
another?
the same actor. So.
Can I get another listen to that?
Man, I am something, aren't
I love that. That is one of my
great.
favorite VEGs.
It's Rico Fajardo. He's like the best to work with. It's
He
amazing.
is that. He really is something.
Yeah,
isn't
he's
he?
great. He's
There
great.
he is.
He really is something.
Star Trooper Achilles again. That is part of the Gold Vault.
I like the
You
voice
get a
pack,
gold key whenever
but-
you purchase the Medusa's Deathmatch Adventure Bundle. Next up, Polar Vortex Kukulkan. This is part of the Divine Uprising, so if you want to get that Galactic Void Chernobog skin we showed off earlier, you definitely got to get your hands on this one. I was saying during the little preview,
This could have cool effects.
that this reminds me of the skin from the Corrupted Arena that we did before, where Kukulkan actually has feet this time.
Yes.
I love it. I love the.
Feetsies.
He looks like a dog wanting belly rubs.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
A lot-
Yeah.
lot
Just
of
not like
people-
on the ground.
Right,
like
but like
upright,
floating.
like erect.
Like a-
and
yeah.
you're like
Okay, we could have used a different
Yes,
word, but
yes.
yeah, if, like, if my dog had like
it means
wings.
straight. Okay, it came out as straight first, and then perverts changed it to make it sound different. All right.
Sorry, Tina. That's me. Anyways, let's get into what the abilities actually look like. Kind of like the Ooh, that sounds really cool. It sounds kind of similar to the Snowzilla skin that has like a lot of those icy
like
effects.
crystal sounds,
Right.
kind of like
Skin's name, I
glass
forget.
breaking against each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Ooh, that's kind of more accurate, right? Like less about snow, but
Oh,
the
okay,
iciness
that's cool.
of it. That
I
type
really
is
like the
so
tornado
cool.
effect.
So normally we have
Yeah, okay, they
tornadoes
pulled it
going
off well.
around, but we wanted more of like an ice pillar. So one of our tech artists, Chris
Yes.
Miller, actually worked on making those not spin the same way they used to. So it's a bit different now. It's a different effect.
Ooh, that looks
Very
really
nice.
Good. Definitely, the iciness
Nice
is
visuals.
well conveyed, but
Makes
has
the
a
skin more
cool
worth it.
little look. Here's the ultimate.
Oh, and the frost dragon as
There
well.
he is, that
Yes.
is one.
Okay.
Icy
I don't
dragon.
even like his
God.
model
there,
that much,
and,
but the effects here are really cool.
GOT stuff.
I was literally about to say, don't spoil anything for anyone.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
GOT meaning
God.
got milk.
No. Of.
got ice.
God.
Got
of
ice dragon.
God. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Trains.
that's what we were talking about before. when yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, let's listen to the voice back.
Astounding. None compared to me. You are so cool. When you find yourself frozen in
I like the voice pack a lot, actually.
went wrong, remember
Like the old dragon kind of type. He just doesn't look like it. He just looks so young.
applaud at a poetry slam for frost dragons? Cold snaps.
Wow, we went real deep into the bag for that joke.
Milkshakes and mortals who dare scale my mountain. Simply for a beast so cold, I have a hard time chilling out.
Tina, who did the voice pack?
Pompon did. Shout outs to Pompon.
Oh, but who's the voice actor?
Oh, the voice actor is Doc Morgan.
Oh,
Doc
wow.
Morgan. Well, let's get some cold snaps for his
Cold snaps. Good
slam-
job, Pon.
his slam poetry reference there. All right, next up, Violet Lord Thor. This is also part
bring on
of the
the daddy.
Slavic portion of the Divine Uprising event. In the back there, is that the Aphrodite skin?
That's his friend. They're just friends right
They're
I thought
just
they're
friends.
brothers and sisters.
Oh, that's why they're friends.
Just
Or-
friends
or-
as
or
sibling
boyfriend and girlfriend?
friends, but also not
Not.
siblings.
Wait. That can't.
Right.
Game of Thrones spoilers.
They're like.
Right.
They're like. Are they friends or are
They're
they?
just friends.
They are hanging out together in one way or another.
But they look the same.
But they have matching armor.
Wait, so his
and,
hammer
it looks very
transforms
cool
when he
together. Wait a
attacks?
minute, that's not a. There's no hammer part.
That's
no,
cool.
No, it's a scepter.
Oh.
He's
And
got
then
a
it tur-
scepter.
Go
Yeah.
ahead,
Oh
Ashley.
well.
Oh,
I
I
don't
wanna
want
see
to
it.
spoil it, but there's a little bit of magic going on with the
All right,
scepter.
this
He's
is
a
gonna be
magic
cool.
Scepter, but
Am I just gonna
whatever.
get beat over the head with a magic?
Oh, I like it.
Oh, you were wrong. Pops out.
Okay, so
that's a hammer.
out of combat, it'll look like a scepter. In combat, it goes to the hammer sound. Oh, that sound is so good. Okay, there is something, I don't know what it is about Thor, but whoever does the auto attack sounds for every Thor skin just nails it. Like, I love the bass sound of Thor's auto attacks. I love this skin sound of the auto attacks. Someone just has a fascination with making awesome hammer sounds.
Yeah.
And they really do a good job. Just look at that.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe the auto team just has like pots and pans, and they just like hit different pots and pans with different metal spoons.
This sounds like getting beat over the head with a mythical hammer. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
There's that tectonic rift looks really, really cool. Kind of a golden, spiky wall.
Mm-hmm. It's
Instead.
architecture, dude. It's like golden spiked architecture.
Here's the ultimate.
Sounds like the
That
standard
awesome
Thor
sound.
voice.
Dang.
Huh.
Dude, the sounds on this skin
Ooh.
are insane. Which is cool because the Aphrodite skin, the sounds are really good, but the visuals of like the turquoise birds and that kind of stuff is what really
Yeah.
gets me to love that skin. And this one has really great visuals, but the sound on this one is really standing out to me right away. Kind of like the sound team's really stepped it up. The recent Ra skin, that Sun God Ra, like
Yeah.
the ultimate like
Yeah.
it's got
really
the same
iconic.
sort of thing here.
Yeah.
Really, really
Good
awesome.
job, audio team.
Good job. Cold snaps. Cold snaps.
Oh yeah,
cold
yeah,
snaps,
yeah,
cold
yeah,
snaps.
yeah.
All right, let's take a listen to the voice back here for Violet Lord Thor.
Your courage is that of a bear,
I mean, now he sounds different.
Truly astonishing. I am truly one of a kind. I have seen infants cry less often than you. Are you just going to stand there like cowardly dogs? All right. Who brought the gnome to an orc battle? I'm not going to be its chaperone. What do you call a dead dwarf? Good riddance.
Wow. sounds like Thor should take a tolerance class. Thor liked that one himself. Very regal sounding and
very verbally abusive.
Yeah, and also really doesn't like goblins, was it, or orcs, or dwarfs? Dwarfs. That's what it was.
Gnomes and dwarves.
Gnomes. Yeah, that's right. All right, let's move on to Queen Cobra Medusa. Yes. This is the namesake of this update notes. 5.10 is Medusa's Deathmatch, and this is what you'll get for purchasing.
Still not so sure she's got anything really special.
Bundle. Saw a little bit of a preview.
She's got so many like
skin,
similar skins to that one already.
Teaser and demonstration of the actual adventure itself, but
the mask is so nice, but
this is Medusa is one.
You're not going to see the mask if you play her.
She has a lot of great skins already, so you got to get something that really stands out. And immediately, I'm looking at the tail.
Oh, the abilities look different.
Barb
eh?
at the end.
Yeah. Yes.
That thing will mess you up.
She's supposed to be
new ability icons.
Apophis, like how
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, from the Clash map.
And we've never actually seen Apophis's tail. Actually, I don't even know what the end of it even looks like because he's underground.
Right.
But we just use a little artistic creativity there and made up what that would look like.
Ooh, are those new ability icons as well?
Yes, they are.
Look at that. Viper shot. All green, which is what I'm all about. Green's my favorite color, in case you guys didn't know.
Yes, this is my favorite color.
Pretty sure it was all green before.
Tina's wearing a green shirt also.
Yeah, Tina's wearing a green
check out her green shirt later.
I like it quite a bit. She has those increased Viper shots if you missed the balance portion. Now Medusa's getting some increased Viper shot. One extra as she ranks it up. That sound is really, really cool. Another god that I really like the sound.
Sounds too loud, actually.
Medusa. I think that it's very clear what she's doing, but it sounds very rewarding whenever you hit your abilities with her. Is like that acid spit. When it connects, feels real good. There's the lacerate as well.
Right. None of these effects really look different, but they're also hard to make very different.
Look at the ultimate. That's always one of the best parts of Medusa skins.
Wait, what?
Dude, again, that is just such a meaty sound when that connects. Oh, and sand.
Gold. Is it gold or is it sand?
Yes.
I think it's sand. Oh, maybe it is. It's golden sand. We're both right. It's golden sand.
It's
That's
nice.
Really, really awesome.
Do you get extra gold for that?
Queen Midas stuff.
Yeah, you really
It's nice, but like.
There it is. That's the ability effects. For
I don't know. I don't think this bundle is worth it for me personally.
For me, whenever something sounds like really intense, it always makes me feel cooler when using it. That ultimate certainly has that. Let's take a listen to the voice back.
Yes.
Oh, okay. She is a queen, I suppose.
Savage.
Wait, is she talking about Hindu Man?
Savage.
Oh my God, she is.
Serve me well. I am your queen. I just want to give you a big, big squeeze. That is no way to treat a queen.
I love the snake sounds on like the S's. Like that's really cool.
Before, just wait until I drag you into the abyss. Did you hear about the stupid snake? He lost his skin. Live or die!
Oh my God.
All right, geez, I'll laugh. Okay, Tina, who wrote this voice pack?
I did.
I had a feeling. Just the faces you were giving me during that entire thing.
Actually, it was really fun. It was voiced by Tiana Camacho, and we've never worked with her before, and it was really fun to work with her for the first time. And she loves Smite, so.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like she did a great job. I love.
Did we mention that the mask is actually a big part of the adventure yet?
No, I mean the mask is a big part of the middle of the adventure. Right. That is, the death mask is what you're going for in the midst of that adventure, and so she has the same mask that you'll see.
Yeah, she has the same mask on right now.
That's really cool. Of course, she pulls it off during Petrify as well. I don't know. You can kind of see it during the recall animation. There we go. Pawn's going into cinematic mode.
Oh,
okay. Pawn attempted to go into cinematic. Yep. There we go. There we go, Pon.
Oh, go, 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 go.
That mask.
Pon's got
Can never really see it that well because of CC immunity anyways.
Cobras, by the way.
Yeah.
She's got new snakes.
Oh.
She's
She's
so
Dude,
freaky.
that's
Turn it
so-
off, Pon. I don't want to look at it anymore.
That's
It's okay,
so
she's still
cool.
a bae.
That's so cool. Still the queen, for sure. The
Yeah.
desert queen, to be
Yeah.
specific.
She is.
There it is. That's your purchase. That's one of your reward purchases for getting the adventure bundle. Next up, certainly not least, last but not least, Crystal Colossus Ymir, and this man is
This one
certainly
I like.
a Colossus.
And
Cute. Wait, you see that and you see cute?
Yeah, he has a
Adorable.
tail.
Wait, you see
He
it
has
too,
a
Ashley?
little tail. It's
Look
cute.
how adorable he
Look
is.
at him. He's smiling.
I
at
don't-
you. Cute.
That is okay.
even
That,
talking
Just
to
want
us,
to
look at
take
him.
his face and smoosh it around.
I don't. It's made of hard crystal. I don't think you can. Now Ymir is going to get a tail here. That is
Yeah.
not something that any other Ymir skin has. He has his own tail.
He actually
I
has his
gotta
own
give
animations
shout-outs
then. He looks
to
so
I Love
Sobek-y.
Tails. He's a big member of the Paladins community. He's constantly talking
Oh.
about different Paladins champions and the
How they
tails that they have.
Tails?
And yep, he loves Drogos because of his tail. Now he will be a Ymir main potentially.
Oh,
with
nice.
this skin. Ooh.
I just love the textures on some of these
This
skins.
is really cool.
How do they get the? I just don't even know how they do that with the.
I like the crumbles around it.
Yeah.
Color changing. It's just such a neat look.
Yeah, you're going to be looking differently depending on where you are on the map, just based on how the light hits your skin. Is that wall looking great? Now, Crystal Colossus Ymir is part of the Crystalline bundle.
Makes
You
sense.
can grab that, and you'll get a bunch of stuff. You'll get this skin. You'll get a fountain skin, a crystal fountain skin, and a Ymir is here avatar. Yeah.
It's super.
Oh, so it's
Is it-
not a
is it
chest,
like is it a cutesy
but it's gonna be a bit
style
more
avatar? Is
so
what it's
that they
going for?
can
Oh, nice.
I don't
Okay,
know,
so
make
that's-
a direct
I think
purchase,
you
I
guys
guess,
are being
more or less.
blinded by the cutesy avatar in this situation.
I guess,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be straight up with you. This is a cool skin.
Oh, this
Not
ult
described
shows
as
really
skin,
well
it's
when it's gonna detonate. Most ults don't do it that obvious.
Yeah, him
That might be a
going,
downside.
Smash! That like is like, oh,
You usually can't even see that in time, but with this one you can really see
There
it.
actually was a lot of iteration on his design because we wanted him to have like some kind of armor, but it didn't make sense to have this giant crystal monster wearing like really nice armor. So we kind of made it look like someone had like chained him up somewhere and put him in like a, we talked about like, oh, is it in a gladiator ring or something, and he escaped.
The way I wrote him, the story behind the way I wrote him is actually he's a raid boss. So you're trying to kick his ass, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come at me, ya wusses!" And then that's all his lines basically is just him trying to defeat like 25-man raid.
I'm number one surprised that he speaks in such a PG manner. That caught me off guard a little bit. Number
Yeah.
two, I love the backstory that you're giving all these skins. That's what
Oh,
I
I
want.
know!
That's what
I
I
should
want
do
to
that
hear
more,
about.
right?
I'm not joking with you. Every skin, I want you to tell me that your own personal head
Damn,
canon
I should have gone through and
about it.
explained
That's
like
the
Thor
best
and how
way.
he's
Yeah,
not,
The
it-
best way to get off the skins is like, why are we doing this?
Right.
Like, what's the story here? What happened that they're playing this game right now, or why are they like looking like this and this?
I should just read my casting notes every time.
Well, whatever sells.
Yeah,
my
that-
notes to these.
You
I'll do
totally
that. I'll
should.
do that next
yeah.
time.
Well,
Okay, that's
get
great.
ready for 5.11. That update show is going to be nuts already. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Crystal Colossus Ymir.
Impressive. You are untouchable. I am unkillable. I will break every bone in your body.
My God.
I see you have come to die.
Man.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. Yeah. Man, just adorable.
My mother always knew I had different phases.
He has a mother.
Yeah, what's the backstory of his
raid
family?
joke, okay? Bosses have different phases.
Oh,
Raid
true.
bosses.
Okay. That's all right. No, Tina, I'm there now. Thank you for explaining again. Crystal Colossus.
I actually would have
Ymir,
missed out on that joke.
Is part of the Crystalline
Wait,
bundle. You get an
I
avatar.
just
Yeah,
wanna
go for it.
mention that the voice actor for this is Kyle Hebert, and he's the voice of Gohan and Ryu.
No
Oh.
way.
Yeah,
Gohan?
he's Gohan in DBZ and Ryu in Street Fighter.
That's
So-
dope.
Nice.
That's really cool. The voice
Yeah.
pack sounded really cool. He definitely has that like
thanks.
a little bit of Ymir goofiness, but just a little bit. But he's also a badass.
But he's a
like-
raid boss.
Yeah, but
So he has to be
But he's also
cocky.
adorable and really cute.
Yes, he's so cute.
Yeah. Your hands will get crushed and destroyed.
I will kill you.
Yeah. Touch me and you die. And it's just like, yeah, but you're cute. And you just want to give him a little pats. That's the skins we've got for the 5.10 update show. And that is the 5.10 update show. I got to ask you, I know that we're most excited about the adventure. Which skin are you going to be using the most in the adventure, though? Which new skin?
I think the Amir skin. It's just, I love purple.
Yeah.
And I really love the ice cream Amir skin.
It's true. Yeah, the ice cream sandwich walls. Well, it's different. You know, if you're hungry, maybe you don't want to like make yourself more hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll go to the crystalline one. You've just eaten. Maybe you had an ice cream sandwich. You can use the ice cream one pretty safely. How about you, Tina?
I actually really like the Medusa one, just because like I think the way her voice pack sounds is really cool.
Yeah.
And the effects are really amazing. Like they're new, and I love Medusa. Like she's my favorite, one of my favorite hunters of all time. So.
Fair enough. I'm gonna be using that galactic Chernobog and just like doing the little VXG around the map, just zooming everywhere around. Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
That does it for 5.10. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the casual set. Yeah, that camera right over there. That's the one right over there. Again, so all the updates will be live on our website soon enough. PTS will be up as soon as we get a chance. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure we'll be updating you on all of our social medias and all that kind of stuff. Thanks so much for watching, and stick around because we've got some competitive Smite action coming up right after a short break.
Bye.
All right, I'm going to mute it here. Okay, cool, perfect. And that's it for the patch notes. I've given my opinions throughout, I think, in sufficient amounts. It is 29 degrees in here, so I'm just going to try and survive somehow outside right now. What I wanted to say, this is not going to be the regular format for the patch notes unless you guys absolutely want this, but rather this is a one-time off thing because I don't know if I will have time or will be back for the normal patch notes, the written patch notes being released later, as Hi-Rez has been known to take their time with that and sometimes release them hours later. So if those come out later, I might do them if I find the time, and I will post them later so you have a bit of a more condensed version. Otherwise, this will be the version for this patch, and next patch we're going back to the normal one. And with that, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope this was interesting and insightful. If you're new to the channel, feel free to click the sub button with the bell. It really helps me out. Other than that, see you for the next one either later or tomorrow, depending on how it goes. DukeSloth, out.